This is the perfect Cadillac lineup. Next year, we'll have 11 teams on the Formula 1 grid. The Cadillac F1 team will join the pinnacle of motorsport in 2026. A lot is already known about this American team, like what engine they will use and who their team principal is. But we still haven't had any confirmation on who their drivers will be. I gathered all the information and rumors and I've established the perfect lineup for the Cadillac F1 team. Let's start with a certainty. 35-year-old Mexican race winner Sergio Perez is mentioned a lot for the Cadillac seat. Motorsport reported as early as May this year that a 3-year deal was on the table for Checo. And to me, this makes perfect sense. He's experienced, he's scored podiums and race wins, and he has a few huge sponsors to back him up. On top of that, he has a huge fan base who will buy Cadillac merch, just like they did with Red Bull merchandise. He's a huge star in Latin America, and Cadillac is an American brand. I'm sure rich Checo fans would consider buying a Cadillac if their favorite driver has a seat there. That's how it works. I'm positive he can have a great influence on this young team with his experience. He's seen a lot of teams up close, struggling midfield teams and a top team like Red Bull. Even if his influence on car development will be minimal, he can help out with pragmatic things like how to optimize a weekend from day to day. He'll not be flustered by any nasty media questions. And from what I've gathered over the years, he's a nice guy to work with. Not an egocentric asshole who only cares about himself. So I'm filling the number 1 seat with Sergio Perez. The second seat is a lot trickier, as I'm hearing a lot of contradicting stories. I've read that Cadillac wants to have an experienced driver and a young driver at the same time. I've also read that they want 2 experienced drivers. We won't know what's true until we get announcements. If they go for another experienced driver, they would most likely pick Valtteri Bottas. The 35-year-old Finn has been openly hinting at the Cadillac seat with a very cringeworthy video. I have nothing against the funny chap with the mustache and the mullet, and people seem to rate him very highly thanks to all his wins and poles at Mercedes. His time at the different Sauber teams looked a lot different. In 2022 he did pretty well. He scored 49 points and finished 10th in the standings. That car was developed without him, just saying. In 2023 he scored 10 points and finished 15th in the standings. And in 2024 he scored no points and finished 22nd. As you can tell, I'm not picking Bottas for the second seat. All this experience and good intentions didn't prevent Sauber from finishing last in 2024. I don't think he'll make a difference at Cadillac either. He was a great second driver at Mercedes because he's a fast qualifier and a decent driver who kept Lewis Hamilton on his toes, but didn't mind letting him through on occasion or didn't mind aborting a fastest lap. He did it all reluctantly, knowing he had a 1-year contract above his head. In the end, he didn't do enough to convince Toto Wolff to keep him on and was replaced by George Russell. I think he's best positioned as the reserve driver. He's well liked and I'm sure he delivers a decent performance in a team when someone is ill or banned. It's nice to have him around with his goofy attitude and social media appearance. I would go for a young driver. So, which younger drivers are rumoured to be considered then? Cadillac team principal Graham Loudon confirmed talks with none other than Mick Schumacher, who's eager to return to F1. His youth and potential combined with his name recognition make him appealing. Mick Schumacher has obviously already had 2 seasons in F1, 2 not so successful seasons at Haas. In 2021 they had the worst car, and he was paired up with fan favourite Nikita Mazepin. They didn't get along, but he did beat him without scoring any points. The 2022 season was a little better, but Kevin Magnussen beat him, and he caused a lot of headaches for team principal Günther Steiner. Mick Schumacher crashed a lot and managed to break 2 cars in half. The Schumacher split. Steiner did what he always did, cursing and yelling, but that didn't really help Schumacher. He was replaced by Nico Hülkenberg the following season. I'm not sure if he's the right guy for this seat. They will most likely be backmarkers, just like Haas was. And we know how that went. He does have great connections and bears a famous name, but that also brings extra pressure. I actually think it might be a bad idea for his career as well. He built up his reputation again in other series he drives for, and I don't think there's anything to gain for him to be at the bottom of the standings in F1 again. Anyway, that's not for me to decide. He can make his own bed and lie in it. The next younger driver who has been rumoured is a 25-year-old Brazilian driver, the 2022 Formula 2 champion, and currently a reserve driver for Aston Martin. I'm of course talking about Felipe Drugovich. This poor bloke won F2, wasn't allowed to continue there, and sees his seat being filled by the boss's son. His paycheck must be really good, because he's still there instead of driving in another series. Then again, maybe holding out for a better opportunity is the wise thing to do. Time will tell. It's very hard for me to judge how good he is, as I don't have time to follow F2 closely, so I've never seen him race. He did the testing in 2023 when Lance Stroll had injured himself in the pre-season. This injury still bothered Lance, but when he couldn't race in Spain this season, Drugovich wasn't allowed to fill in because he didn't do the quali. Tough luck for the Brazilian. I don't think he'll get into the Cadillac seat. I think the window of opportunity has closed for him. It's been too long. Just like Stoffel van Dorne won't get a seat anywhere. It is what it is. On to the next candidate. Your man from Ireland, Alex Dunn, is reportedly a candidate, according to the always reliable Last Word on Sports. Yeah. The 19-year-old is doing very well in F2, although he has been in a lot of incidents. To be honest, I think everyone, including your nan, is on the list somewhere to join the Cadillac team. I feel the team doesn't mind the rumours and suggestions, as they are most likely negotiating with certain drivers. It's good to dangle different options in front of them. Take it or leave it, buddy. Let's go to my ultimate pick for a second driver. If you're enjoying this video, here's 3 seconds to leave a like. I think the second seat beside Sergio Perez will be filled by Guan Yu Zhou. This guy has 2 years of experience in the sport, knows the ins and outs of the Ferrari engine, and just like Checo, brings a lot of sponsorship money to his team that wants to build something. Selling Cadillacs to rich Asian folks is, if you think about it, what they want. It's all about marketing. The Chinese market is massive. As a driver, he did manage to beat Valtteri Bottas in 2024. He scored 4 points while Bottas scored none. I couldn't tell you which outstanding qualities Joe has. He never really stood out in the seasons he raced. But he wasn't very crash happy either. That massive shunt at Silverstone wasn't his fault. He seems to get on with everyone very well, and he tries his best to make a good impression off track with his fashion. Like, that doesn't do anything for me, but a brand might like that. One of the biggest things I recently discovered involves his manager. Do you know who his manager is? His manager is Graham Loden. I'll let you connect the dots. Yes, he's the team principal of the Cadillac F1 team. That's it. That's sorted then. Perez and Joe will drive for Cadillac in 2026. Let me know what you think. Subscribe. Take care now. Doei doei.